Committee. Jacob Daniels is chair.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First and foremost, I just want to begin once again. When I was speaking with Ms. Nichols, I want everybody to know that this is not directed at any particular person. This is an issue that we have to deal with as a city. It's not any particular employee. It's not any particular counselor. It's nothing like that. It's a Creswell issue. So we're going to work together and we're going to fix this audit situation. Now, the committee's charge from our mayor is to study history of our audits for past 10 years, discover status of current audit 2011-2012, research audit recommendations, and determine what city has done in response, survey similar-sized cities in Oregon. How do they meet the challenge of separation of duties with a small staff? Is it typical that small cities with limited staff are late on annual audits? Is additional staff needed in Creswell? Consider involving community members with expertise in this area. Now, I'd like to thank Nora Reynolds and Jane Vincent for serving with me on this committee. We worked well together, and we had and also some people in the crowd tonight were also in attendance at that meeting, and I appreciate the community involvement. So just to paraphrase what we discussed and what came about at our meeting, the Creswell Finance Committee met and discussed the current audit situation. Information was presented to the committee members and those in attendance regarding historical audits and audits from other cities in Lane County. A survey of other cities in Lane County shows that for the 2010-2011 fiscal year, the cities who failed to meet the statutory deadline, which is December 31st, were Creswell, Oak Ridge, Cottage Grove, Coburg, Dune City, West Fur, Florence, and Lowell. So we're not the only ones that are a little bit late. Cities that met the December 31 deadline include Veneta, Junction City, and Eugene and Springfield, which I don't really count in our analysis because they're a much different operation. Let's see, but a study of, but it's not all good, because a study of Creswell shows that Creswell, we didn't start becoming late on our audits until the fiscal year that began on July 1st, 2007 and ended on June 30th, 2008. That particular audit for the 2007-2008 year was due on the 31st of December 2008. It wasn't turned in until July of 2009. So that's about 7 months late. Let's see. After that, there's been a pattern of late audits that has continued since the 2007-2008 year. In 2008-2009, the audits were 10 months late. The audit for 2010-2011, which was just turned in today, so that's a good step forward. That was 14 months late, and we're still within the time frame of our extension to get the 2011-2012 audit in on time, and I'm cautiously optimistic that we can make that happen, and as a counselor and as a committee, I'll do whatever we need to do to work together to help make that happen. The committee, though, we found some of this to be troublesome because these are just late things that popped up on the radar, and it kind of made the committee start to question, well, is there other things that maybe are being neglected? And if so, how do we fix these problems? And so we went into a brainstorming session talking about just how the city operates as a whole and in ways that we might be able to improve the efficiency. Because as I stated earlier, there's people in City Hall who are doing a lot of different things, and so we need to figure out how we can best prioritize their time so that they can get their jobs done and not be distracted by things that don't pertain to their jobs. So one thing we talked about is commissioning a master plan. I'm on the board of directors of the Southland County Fire and Rescue District, and we did a master plan at the urging of one of our interim chiefs, Chief Dawson, And I can tell you that master plan looked at every single component of the fire district, and it showed us where there were inefficiencies in our labor force and where we can improve, or where we didn't have to have labor actually actively operating. And so I found that master plan to be terrific, and I actually gave the committee a copy of that master plan, because I believe that that master plan is the sole reason why South Linn County Fire and Rescue has turned the corner, knock on wood. Another proposal was from an audience member, Jerry Garcia. He talked about doing a job study just to figure out, with particular jobs, what the requirements are and things of that nature. And that was another thing that popped up in our meeting, was that we're not sure if there's job descriptions for particular employees. And this really isn't, as I said before, this is something that if all the employees aren't working in unison, it makes one have to pick up the slack for the other, or vice versa. And it causes a situation where things become late and we get ourselves into this situation. Another idea was a forensic audit. I've spoke with certain people about that, and that's probably too costly for this situation. And so we're going to look at our next meeting, which you're all invited to, and we'll have posted in the Creswell Chronicle, and we'll also have Jane write another letter asking you to come, and we would like you to come out and talk with us, because we need to figure out steps to move forward so that we can quit bickering, but instead help assist our city staff in getting their job done, because we know that they want to get their job done right.
Thank you, Councilor Daniels. Next month, the Finance Committee will bring another progress report and recommendations. All right, let's move on to the